This is really the mindset. This is the theory. This is the conceptual that we want you to acknowledge exists before you work your way into it. I have the ability to vibrationally align and practice and become all that life has caused me to desire. And when I do, in the process of becoming it, I'll feel better and better. In the process of doing it, I'll begin to feel energy flow. In the process of becoming it, I will feel the passion that I came to this life to live. And then, and we're not wanting to water this down one little tiny bit, and then manifestation will validate my newfound vibrational alignment. Validate. So we want to talk in terms of the validation of manifestation. We've been saying to you for a long while that there are two ways that you can tell what you're doing vibrationally. One is by the way you feel, and the other is by what's manifesting. Good to know. But we want you to understand that if what's manifesting is tricky or treacherous or uncomfortable, and you don't know what you know about alignment, then you might give in to letting reality train your vibration. That's what a lot of people do. In fact, most people let what is, you've heard us say if you've been listening to us for a while, that most people offer most of their vibration in response to what they are observing. So we're just wanting to call your attention to this vortex that you can also observe. We just want your desire to observe your vortex to be heightened enough that you begin to do the real creative work, because deliberate creation is achieving alignment with who you really are and then letting manifestation validate where you are. And it's so much fun. When you deliberately shift the way you feel, even though circumstances don't really give you a reason to, but you do it anyway. And why would you do it? Because you're supposed to feel good. Why else would you do it? Because you're supposed to feel good. Why else would you do it? Because you're supposed to feel good. Why else would you do it? Because you're supposed to feel good. Why else would you do it? Because you're supposed to feel good. Why else would you do it? Because you're supposed to feel good. Really the only reason. Well, there is another reason. Because who you really are has already done it, and if you don't do it, you won't feel good. But you're supposed to feel good. 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 You are supposed to feel good no matter what. Now, there are many people that say, that's just stupid. How could anybody feel good under those conditions? And we say, because you're supposed to feel good. You're supposed to feel good because you are the creator of the conditions, you see. And when you get it that you're supposed to feel good and you find alignment and you do feel good, and then you watch manifestation mimic the goodness that you feel, now you have control of manifestations. And isn't that what deliberate creation is? So when we say to you, don't try to control the uncontrollable, what we mean by that is, don't try to manipulate the manifestations. Instead, do the vortex work. And here is the phrase that we want you to remember forever. Let your vortex affect the manifestation. Let the energy that creates worlds create your world, you see. You sort of getting the hang of this? We really enjoy visiting with you and watching you as you are moving through the details of your life experience, because there are so many things that you think about that don't serve you and that don't cause you any real discomfort immediately, because you have, we love you very much, become accustomed to, we love you so much, enduring ridiculous things. You get ornery about things, and because it doesn't kill you in the moment, you let that orneriness persevere. You have principles that you carry around that don't serve you, have never served you, aren't serving you, and will never serve you. But because they're not killing you, you carry them on and you teach them to your children. And then you put them in detention when they don't agree with you about your principles. And so today, what we really want to emphasize, and we can feel you're up for it, what we really want to emphasize is the close proximity. It's so close that you could call it instant manifestation, although that freaks you out. The close proximity between the alignment that you achieve deliberately with your vortex and the manifestations that follow, or the not closeness with your vortex that you achieve and the manifestations that follow. We want to show you how whatever it is you're feeling is causing the manifestations to unfold. Now, sometimes you don't believe that because it feels like, oh, there's already people out there. There are already situations that have been created. I cannot create in the experience of another. But we want you to understand that you can evoke, you can elicit, you can rendezvous with. In fact, not just can you, but you do, with precisely in the moment how you're feeling in the moment, with precisely how you're doing, how you're feeling in the moment, with precisely how you're doing, how you're feeling in the moment. Now, friends, freak you out or not, that's instant manifestation. You can be observing something that's not so good, and maybe it's irritating you, maybe it's frightening you, maybe it's just frustration. It could be anywhere in that range of unwanted emotions, strong or not so strong. And as you focus there, you cause a vibration within you to reverberate in response to whatever it is that you're observing. You just let often that circumstance train you into a vibrational frequency. And then everything that happens to you now, this could take a while, now, reflects what you've got going on vibrationally. Now, what you've got going on vibrationally is always reflected to you by what you feel. But what happens to you so often is you become accustomed to feelings that are indicators of vibration that's going to reflect back to you more stuff that you really don't want so much. But you're hardy, we know. You take those classes, those stiff upper lip classes. You take those wrestle it to the ground and kill it classes. You take those life isn't supposed to be fair or fun classes. You take those I'm strong and I'm hardy and I can endure and I can persevere and life isn't supposed to be fun. And we say, yes, it is. It's supposed to be fun, not just now, but always. And what you're going to come to realize as you play with this more and more in a conscious, deliberate way is that it is oh so fun to witness something unwanted, maybe something really unwanted, because in the knowing of what you don't want, there is a bounce or the other end of that vibrational wavelength that knows exactly what you do want. And even though you can't maybe speak what you want because you're so embroiled in what you don't want, what you do want's bouncing out of you, bouncing out of you, bouncing out of you, because friends, you just got to know how obvious it is when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. In other words, that's that deciphering process, isn't it? And when you really don't want it, you really do want something else. And when you sort of don't want it, you sort of don't want something else. But this process helps you to define whether you can speak it or not. So this defining, this preferring, this giving birth to new intentions, it's the evolution of all species. It's the evolution of the cellular species. It's the evolution of the human species. It's the evolution of everything, is this energy or vibration that bounces from someone, whether you're a one-celled organism or whether you're a full-fledged genius human, focusing and identifying, whether consciously or whether vibrationally, identifying what it is you prefer. Evolution, expanding, becoming. But most humans are really slow on the trigger to go along with what they have birthed. Your inner being isn't. In other words, you were source energy before you came into this physical body, and only a part of that consciousness, a really rather small, we will not say insignificant, but it is part of you. In other words, the larger part of you remains non-physical. Here you are, physically focused, this wonderful personality that is you, sifting through and preferring, expanding, becoming, asking, whether you put words to it or not. Someone's rude, you want nicer people around you. If you're sick, you want to be well. If you're really sick, you really want to be well. If you don't have enough money, you want money. All day, every day, bounce. And the source within you, becoming, because every time you say, I'd like that, source who holds no resistance, your inner being who holds no resistance, becomes what you've asked for, vibrationally speaking. Now, that doesn't ring your bells very much because you're into manifestation, and it's okay. That's why you're here in these flesh, blood, and bony bodies. You have come for manifestations. You've come to this leading edge because, to line up and manifest, it just doesn't get any better than that. This is not catching up time. This is leading edge time. You're not here to prove worthiness through your manifesting. You're here to prove creation through your manifesting. In other words, you're here to create through manifestation. Esther nearly fell off the bed, and then the chair, and then the car, and then the bed, and then the chair, and then the car. As these processes have been going through her mind, the thought processes, as she realizes that everything that's happening is a reflection of only one thing, her relationship with the vortex. So, for example, Esther said to Jerry, if I were to do something for you kitchen-wise, in my beautiful new kitchen, what would you like it to be? And Jerry said, I would like oatmeal and raisin cookies. And Esther said, consider it done. So she went to the kitchen, snatched everything out of the cupboard except baking soda, which was not there, because she has never baked in this kitchen before. And so she said to Jerry, I'm on the hunt for baking soda. And Jerry said, you know, I think I saw some in the refrigerator at the guest house because Sylvia has freshened everything, and I think it's in there like a freshener thing. So Esther said, I'm on it. So she jumped in the car. Now their garage is carpeted, which is a little tricky because on 3 occasions, Jerry has ended up at a restaurant with no shoes on. Because it just feels logical to get in the car from the car. So now Esther jumps in the car, goes through a gate or two, goes to the guest house, steps out into the gravel in her stocking feet, and says, right out loud, can someone please explain to me why I'm here in my stocking feet? And then she tiptoes down the pathway into the cottage and thinks to herself, surely there are a pair of shoes or carpet slippers in the closet. So she walks into the closet and finds herself in very wet carpet. She calls Fidel, and he tells her, as he examines it, that the air conditioner, no one's been in the cottage for a long time, the air conditioner has been running, it's plugged up, and it is draining into the closet. And Esther is saying, now no one needs to tell me why I'm here in my stocking feet. In other words, a manifestation, a path of least resistance. Jerry wants cookies. He wants the kind of cookies that don't have the baking soda. The baking soda isn't in the house, but the baking soda is at the cottage. Esther goes in her stocking feet. Now, you might say coincidence. You might say, oh, that's one way to twist a really stupid story into something meaningful. But what it is the path of least resistance manifestation, because things are always working out for you. You see, things are always working out for you. Esther could not get back over to the house to tell Jerry fast enough. She wasn't even upset that the house smelled funky or that the carpet was wet or that she didn't know what the problem was. She was exhilarated that the universe had delivered to her an answer to a problem she did not even know she had. Because things are always working out for her. You get what we're talking about. Manifestations. So, if you are feeling worried about something, what you're going to receive back as feedback from specialists, from anybody that knows, is information that doesn't have anything to do with your reality, doesn't have anything to do with your expected manifestational reality, doesn't have anything to do with anything except it's feedback to how you're feeling. You say, oh, this test or this x-ray or this conversation or this whatever is coming to me is a statement of fact. And we say, we'll give you that, but it's a statement of only one fact. Your vibrational proximity to your vortex, period, end of story. So what we want you to begin to watch for, and it will be fun for you to watch, is that if you will hear us when we say that you have the ability to develop a personal and deliberate relationship with your vortex, with your inner being, with the larger part of you, with good feeling emotions. And if you will practice the vibration of it as often as you can and milk it when you find yourself there, so that you become so familiar with the feeling of who you really are.